Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Grandmaster Shaymin and today we're going through another episode of Fatal 12. A lot of stuff happened in the last episode. We got all three cards pertaining to both Yu and Shingetsugu. So we now know both of their complete sets of three cards, and a real question awaits at the next trial whether or not we are going to eliminate Yu from the competition, or will we let you live? We know that we have to eliminate you at some point, and eliminating them at the same time as their dear beloved grandfather might not be such a bad idea. When I got back to my room, my mind drums up with images of Shingetsugu and Yu. Shingetsugu talked about the joy of providing something to another. Was I able to do that for Keiko? Was I able to do that for Sonia even? Shingetsugu's elimination during the next election is all but guaranteed. I was able to provide something for him, though. Was I able to provide something for him, knowing that would happen? Hearing him out and I heard him out and made you dinner for you. There's no need to involve myself with any participants further than this, and yet I find myself worried about waking up on Monday, plagued with regret. Screw this. I figure I'm best off acting instead of worrying, so I make my way over to my computer. What is she going to do? Thus, another day of school rolls by. I stayed up late last night doing research, so I'm a bit tired. And wouldn't you know it, I checked my calendar and it's June already. I'm already nostalgic about the time we went to that amusement park. Once my surprise fades, I'm ready to head to school. The fact that there's no music... Okay. Once I'm there, I find myself talking to the usual group. Morning. You two decide on what you're going to do for the cultural festival yet? Well, I mean, they've already settled on me helping out for an hour on both Saturday and Sunday, right? Oh, I believe I've been forced into it as well. Talking to these two really helps hammer home that I'm back to my typical daily life. The cultural festival is next weekend. My class has finally decided to go with the fortune teller booth idea. I'm a bit worried about it since they've decided to that hardly a month to spare. But it should be fine because there's nothing too difficult to prepare. None of us are playing a big part, but we need all the help. Need to help out because it's a class effort, and said help comes from in the form of a 1-hour shift on both Saturday and Sunday. It seems. Not what I mean. I'm asking how you're going to spend the rest of the time. Oh, okay. I just wanted to check out the cafe that Naomi's class is running. Her class, huh? Not like you got a tag along, you know. Wrong. Wherever Rinka goes, I shall follow. Oh, Miharu, I love you. Spending time with Naomi should be fine so long as it's while we're at school. Dude, Miharu's way better than I am. I gotta say, I really like Rinka's character. Miharu reminds me of myself, but significantly better. But she still went out that way. If you guys haven't watched the previous episodes, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm talking about how I figured out Miharu's death and regret. And that, makes me sad. You know? She's been working hard for this, so I want to see how it turns out. You got any plans, Mao? Nope. Figures. I'm not interested in what others are doing, so I booked a morning shift. We're allowed to go home so long as we're at school when we need to be, so I may as well. I might do the same. Don't particularly care about anything else. You two suck. Ignoring Mao's attempt to tease us, we start to trudge over to the cafeteria. I mean, you could get some extra hours on your cafe, right? Okay, see ya. With that, Mao skips out of the classroom. Looks like she's been heading home in a hurry today. Not sure why, since she generally skips that aspect of her life that aspect of her life to herself. Still, she tends to be busy more often than not. Not like she's in any clubs either. I can only assume she's got a part-time job or something. Miharu is getting ready to head home herself. Offer to walk with her, duh. Let me save though. Go with her, god damn it! Wait, did I made the right choice, right? I really hope so. Want to head back to the station together? Are you sure? She starts to pack up things even faster when she asks. I mean, under her notebook is an unfamiliar book. Doesn't seem like the one from the school's library. No need to rush, though. I'd rather not have you leave me behind for being too slow. I love her face. I can only smirk. Yay, Miharu! Thanks for yesterday, by the way. I didn't do too much. I'm just glad you brought it up. Mind if I ask what happened? Get ready for a long story, I guess. This isn't a topic I can avoid so long as we're together. I tell her all about how I went to Shinjuku's house and how number 11 forced her way in. She's wide-eyed at the start of the story, but by the end, all she does was sigh. Honestly, at this point, I'm just scared of what you try to pull next. Oh, Miharu. Me too. Things worked out well, though. I managed to talk things out with number 12. What about it? You'll still have to eliminate him when it's all said and done. I figure I'm being too optimistic, but Miharu makes sure to beat reality back into me with her words. Lacking a proper retort, all I do is avoid eye contact. Well, I'm not going to nag you. What you were doing is wrong. If anything goes south, just know I'm ready to protect you. Most importantly, I'm happy that you were revealing all of this to me in the first place. Has anything happened on your end? Are you curious? She teases the question with a smile. You're not going to tell me anything. That's my girl. You know me so well. We move to more standard topics following that as we make our way to the station. Then we exchange goodbyes and part ways. I feel like that's a bit dangerous, though. Like, Miharu's going to get... Everyone's going to know that Miharu and Rinka are still friends. Yesterday was a rare day. I was able to open the store for once. Customers dwindle during holiday periods, but regulars in the area still tend to drop by. I'm glad most of them understand that my grand's away, so they make it a point to cheer me on rather than criticize my offerings. Yo, Rennie, want to go somewhere the week after the cultural festival? Now comes over to chat as I get ready to head home. Sure, you got someplace in mind? Not yet. We could always hit up a movie or hit up karaoke. She grins as she notices my hesitation. Come on, don't deny me the pleasure of watching your sheepish singing, Rennie. I'd very much like to deny you that. We haven't been to karaoke with Naureen yet, have we? It'd be good timing, so let's do it. Bet that girl's got a killer voice. Don't know what she'd sing, but the quiet types are always surprisingly good at singing. The only curveball is Miharu and her job. Whatever, things will sort themselves out. She prattles on and on without giving me a chance to speak. I'm all too aware that this is her way of making sure I can't turn her down. I'm pretty curious about what Naomi would try to sing, so I end up agreeing. Oh, man. See, I would die, dude. I am so bad at karaoke. Ooh, man. Yes! Make sure you keep the Saturday after next open, then. Sure. The Saturday after next will be the 16th. 2 more elections stand between now and then. I should be fine for this week's, but who knows about next week's. That's not the mindset I should have, though. My utmost priority is making sure I never get elected. Rennie? I apologize for getting lost in thought before making our way back to class. After spending some time in Shinjuku, I find myself waiting for the train. I realize it's been a while since last time I went to the bookstore, so I decided to stop by before heading home. There are a fair number of new shoujo manga on sale, so I buy a couple to try. Oh, Rinka. As it happens, Naomi is already there waiting for the same train. She even had the same bag in hand as me, which means we were both at the same store. After discussing what we both bought, Naomi's expression gets a bit more serious as she changes the topic. How did things go with that child, if I may ask? She must mean you. It's funny, thinking back on that first encounter, not only do I know his name, I actually thought he was a girl. How much should I tell Naomi, though? I can't give her all the details like I did with Miharu. Miharu's warning comes to mind as I mull it over. Let's just say things worked out. Ah, okay. Sorry. The exchange is brief, but it no doubt leaves Naomi a tad vexed. If I'm not going to tell her anything, then I'm better off not saying anything at all. Her pain expression tells me exactly how the current situation makes her feel. Doing so hurts. Doing this to her hurts me enough already, but she must feel even worse on the receiving end. That's why I try my best to change the topic. Is something wrong? As soon as I do, I notice a familiar figure amongst the crowd. Not waiting for Naomi to notice, I kept my gaze on her, only resorting to quick glances as I make sure if I'm right. And I am. It's you. He's standing in the crowd as if waiting for someone. But I mean, there's a very limited pool of people he could be waiting for. He tries to seem nonchalant, but I notice him glancing over at me every now and again. Sorry, I forgot to pick something up at the cafe. Go on without me. I don't mind joining you. Nah, it's fine. I'm sure you're tired from all the preparations for the cultural festival. So I say go and get some rest. She nods, although it was obvious she had read between the lines. Following that, I wave goodbye as she gets on the train. Yu makes his way over to me after confirming that I'm alone. Rinka. He probably realized that I saw him. I need to ask a favor. He goes right to the chase. I opt to quietly hear him out. I want to help Shingetsugu to see his family again. But I need you to help me figure out where they are. Shingetsugu said he'd given up, but it's obvious he wanted to see them again for a long time. I'm the only one who can convince him, but I can't bring myself to say anything. It just frustrates me so much. I spent so much time up till now trying to figure out what I should do, trying to figure out the right answer. It was tough, but now I know. Things can't go on like this. We'll both regret it if they do. He lets his emotion run rampant despite being out in public. There's nothing I can do to stop him either. Once he finishes his spiel, he stares at me, worry all over his face. I can't blame him. Normally people wouldn't hear him out. But he's probably hoping for the slightest possibility that I will. I don't know where they are. Shingetsugu probably won't tell me either. There's no way I can ask Aaron, so you're the only one I can rely on. Please. He probably is expecting me to turn him down based on my silence. I don't seem to be in the right state of mind. His desperation to help Shingetsugu serves to warm my heart. As does knowing we both thought of the same thing. They moved away due to his son getting transferred to another branch of his company. Finding out which prefecture they were in was pretty easy. Calling them and pretend... Oh, this is all the research that she did. So she was planning to do this from the get-go. Yo, that's pretty badass. Calling them and pretending to be other departments worked out well. I've been brushing up on my acting skills ever since Divine Selection started, so I was able to nail down the city that they're in. Huh? But the rest is up to you. Just ask around the neighborhood to find out which house is theirs. Guess I can give you money for the Shinkansen and lodging for the night. I gotta keep it a secret from my gran, but it'll be fine as long as you pay me back. What's happening right now? If you're not taking Shingetsugu with you, then you'll have to convince his family to come see him instead. I won't help you out more than this, but I want you to trust yourself. I honestly don't get what's happening. Shingetsugu said you would be both brave and compassionate. I have to agree. I hand him an envelope. Inside is the information I've already dug up regarding Shingetsugu's family, as well as some money. Did you know I'd do this? It's only because I had the same idea cross my mind. It's their story from here on out. I have no intention of seeing it through. Now that I've done this much for you, I should be able to avoid waking up with regret if Shingetsugu gets eliminated. I want him to be happy till the very end, so I'll do everything I can to make sure that happens. Thanks, Rinka. I promise I'll pay you back. After he says that, he remains still for a moment. Oh, God. Just as I mutter that I need to go, he stops me. His expiration is deathly serious. There's one more favor. His face makes it clear that this one is serious. Even so, I didn't expect what came out of his mouth next. I want you to eliminate me. Yo, I got goosebumps. Huh? I kind of figured that you obtained all 3 of my cards. I also figured that you wouldn't elect me. You're just too kind. But why? Because I want you to live. You're joking. I shouldn't shout at you. But I'm serious. Oh, dude, I have such goosebumps. As soon as I read that line, I'm like, oh, man. You already knows. But I'm serious. If there's anyone I'm fine with being eliminated by, it's you. That's not all, though. I shouldn't be allowed to live in the first place. Yo, you probably starts remembering, or even has remembered, his past. What makes you say that? My memories don't seem like they'll ever come back, but sometimes I'm scared of myself. Sometimes I get the feeling that the person I was before this is ready to do something terrible. I may become something else entirely if my memories return. Who knows what I'll do then? So please, kill me before that can happen. I can feel the pressure that he's been bolting up inside from the tone of his voice, the unknown factor that's probably been haunting him for a while now. I had no intention of electing him this week, just as he said, mostly because I didn't have it in me. I need some time to think. Why? You'll have to eliminate me sooner or later if you want to live, right? Yeah, but right now I'd rather leave that for when your memories return, for when we both learn about the link we share. Are you sure amnesia isn't just causing you to panic? I might regret my action by eliminating you if I learn something important. But you gotta. He refuses to give in. He knows what I'm like by now, and yet he presses on regardless. Please, you'll do this for me, won't you? I can understand it. I can honestly understand why you would do that. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that he, has this killer instinct. He's worried that he was some sort of assassin, which it seems like he was something in that range, right? Something in that type of field. So, you need to eliminate him. I can't bring myself to answer. He refuses to stop staring at me, waiting for me to say yes. He believes he might do something terrible, but I can't see that happening. Sure, his past required him to know how to fight, but that doesn't feel relevant to his current fears. It's a promise. He cuts the conversation off after a period of silence, and he takes his leave without another word. There's a reason I couldn't give him the response he wanted. Deep down I knew, I just can't do it yet. This is bad, though. You need to be able to do it. Or else, I know that what he says is going to happen. Today turns out another rare day. I keep the cafe open all day long. Leaving it closed so often has taken its toll on me. My legs feel like rubber now as my shift is over. Either way, working up a sweat from hard work really feels good. And getting all those customers relaxed and content makes it worth it. Right. It's time for me to shower and bed. The week's selection awaits. It doesn't actually matter when I decide to go to sleep, but the more sleep I get, the better I should feel in the morning. You've got to be able to eliminate him. I notice this sizable black object in my room as soon as I enter. It's Leith, lording over my bed as always. Oh, you. In all honesty, it's reassuring to know that I'm not alone. I feel like Leith is, connected to the dream world. I really do. I get that feeling. Good evening, my lovely little slaves of fate. Parka's voice echoes throughout the court of fate. It's a prelude to this week's election. Oh, it's nice that we arrive here like clockwork. I'm so old that I forget to set my DVR to record my TV shows. I very much appreciate you not treating this like a televised event. Oh, as humanity's humble TV piqued even a lovely goddess's interests. I assure you, no ethereal being is as educated regarding the trends of mortal coil as I. Existing outwith the bounds of time can lead to an extreme boredom, you see. She smiles in response to Shingetsugu. There is something inherently off about hearing a being like her who feels right at home in a fantasy setting talking about TVs. I wonder if she observes events in the real world from here as if watching on TV. I see hints of exhaustion from you all. We are nearly halfway through the divine selection, so that is to be expected. Can't we just get on with it then? Might as well hurry this up so we can get some good shut-eye. Federico speaks up in his typical tone of jest. From what I can tell, he doesn't have any serious injuries. You claim to have rendered him immobile, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Either that or the dream world doesn't reflect our current state in the real world, meaning he's acting fine to cover up the fact that he's been injured. Well, I mean, I thought we already went over that. Goodness gracious, quite the impatient lot. Have you no sympathy for your goddess looking to starve off boredom? No matter. We have 8 elections left, including tonight. I'm sure you will provide me with some entertainment during that span of time. Allow me to begin tonight's election. Revolve, O clock of fate. Oh man, is Rinka gonna be able to eliminate him? Each participant announces whether or not they want to elect someone. Naturally, I'm the first up because I'm number 1. I announce my intent not to elect anyone tonight. In the end, Alan is the only one to announce an election. I elect number 5. As expected, he goes straight for Shingetsugu. Shingetsugu seems satisfied with his outcome. God damn it, this is really bad. That means shit's gonna go down here shortly. After this election is over, dude, Yu is probably going to try and kill us. I can only guess the meaning behind it, but I'd like to believe his memory ends on a positive note. More importantly, you liar. A sense of guilt washes over me as I hear those words get muttered. 2 people face one another in the quarter face of their sanctum, Alan and Shingetsugu. For Alan, it's his 3rd time. Much like the previous 2, his expression remains solid. Well, this is something else. The dream world offers surprise after surprise. Alan remains silent after Shingetsugu's remark. The only thing in his eyes is a reflection of the old man's decrepit smile. You've become quite the regular visitor here, haven't you? Alan gives no response to Parka, who appears out of nowhere either. Worry not, I'm aware that you are not one for words. Please select your 3 cards. Alan opens up his card book and produces the relevant cards. Once done, he reads them aloud. His name is Ushizuka Shigetsugu. He died of starvation, and his regret is the family he once got along with. Fortunately, I have no more regrets. Fortunately, I have no more regrets. I'm not sure how he pulled off this trick, but allow me the chance to see my family one last time. Don't be foolish. That was no trick. It was a heartfelt gift from him, your family, to you. His efforts will be in vain if you refuse to accept that. Don't worry, I'm aware. It's just an old man's way of hiding his embarrassment. I see. I like the smile on Alan's face. I would say I'm surprised at your outburst, but that's not true. While brief, our time together was enough to understand that no one holds their family as dear as you. Don't let that drag on longer than necessary. Hurry up with the proceedings. Done chatting already? Before Alan could respond, a bright light floods from his cards. It envelops the area in an instant. And now he's gonna experience what it's like to die of starvation. That's gonna be kind of rough. A man haunted by loneliness, on the floor of his home. As starvation whittled him away, all he could do was reflect on his past. He wished to return to those happier times. It was an unrealizable dream, and yet it was one he would cling to as his life light gradually extinguished. Well, that was short. Well, we knew that already, didn't we? Expect no sympathy from me. Your dream did end up coming true. That's more than enough. I admit that it's quite rare for you to be even the slightest bit sentimental. How many times do I have to tell you not to concern yourself with me? Do your job. Dull to the core, no matter. You may reveal your interesting side to me sooner than you expect. Alan's platform begins to move as Shinjuku's cards float in front of him. He must pick a card to keep before returning to the lower sanctum. His expression remains emotionless as he chooses. Sometime after, Alan descends by himself. Which card would you like to obtain? I choose number 4's regret. Ellipses. Something's wrong. Yu seems completely unfazed by Alan's selection. No, that's not quite right. His expression is alien compared to a few minutes ago. It sends a shiver right down my spine. His game seems focused on me rather than Alan. That kid. I find it hard to believe that it's simply anger over me not electing him. I find it hard to believe that it's simply anger over me not electing him. There's something else. Like I'm staring into the endless abyss of rage. Ouch. My head suddenly begins to pound, but it's not enough to make me collapse, so I do my best to power through it. What in the world? before Alan's bewilderment in the moment he touches Yu's card. The card, which was glowing white, suddenly shatters. The fragments disperse throughout the area. Oh me, oh my. The card book begins to glow as well. Parko speaks up as soon as I notice. Tonight's session resulted in one elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. The seeds of dissidence have already begun to sprout, but this is just the beginning. Yep, I knew it. So now she remembers. Ah, Rinka, why did you do that? I wake up drenched in sweat. The gross and sticky kind, no less. Leith is nowhere to be seen, so I assume it was another midnight departure. What in the world happened during that election? The moment Alan got his hands on that card, it shattered. It was Yu's regret card, too. I have the card as well, so I have a bad feeling about this. I peek into my book of cards, fearing the worst. No way, what's going on here? I'm sure the distress in my voice is apparent. Yu's regret card has vanished. This has never happened before. If the card disappears, does that mean his regret has disappeared? That can't be right. His regret was his mother's cooking, so it wouldn't disappear because I made him one dinner. Even if I did, I would have lost the card sooner. Shingetsugu wouldn't have had it either. Which means there's only one possibility. That's why I decided to go back to Shingetsugu's house after school. You remembered all of his past, which makes... So he probably only regretted his mother's cooking because he was kind of like the nice and quiet person. And now he's going to be... There's no way he's not going to be a cold-blooded killer. I have no doubt in my mind. School itself has started to get busy thanks to the cultural festival preparations. My class got started pretty late, comparatively. So the people in charge were running around during lunch to get things set up. As much as I think should have gotten it sorted out earlier, I'm in no position to comment when I'm doing the bare minimum to help. I would be willing to help if they asked, but they're making it pretty clear that they want to handle things themselves. And I get why. It's nice when you and a group of friends pull stuff off like that together. Naomi's class is probably doing much better than ours in that regard. Well, let's grab some grub. Not a care in the world, huh? Oh, it's awkward to sit in here right now, so let's make our way to the rooftop. Whoa, hey, watch what you're saying. Why should I? They're the ones who turned down Mao's offer to help because of our being around her. No worries, makes life easier for me. Something tells me that Miharu's a bit annoyed. Most likely because it's easy to guess how they treated Mao when she offered to help. Besides, they're the ones who sorted our shifts out for us. Might as well thank them, really. Well, as long as you're fine with that, I guess let's get going. I nod and follow right behind them. Chow time! All three of us enjoy lunch on the rooftop as usual. Times like this is where I can relax the most. Just as I'm enjoying my tonkatsu sandwich, a familiar voice calls out as the rooftop door opens. Sorry, is Rinka here? Naomi. Oh, yo, Naureen, it feels like it's been ages since I last saw you. Oh, hi, Mao. Good day to you, too, Miharu. Miharu makes eye contact with her, but says nothing. Both Naomi and I understand why, so Naomi makes her business clear right away. I have some coffee coupons, so here you go. She hands 3 tickets over to us. The word coffee is printed in the middle with an oversized font. Beneath it says, Omeka Girls University High Culture Festival. Our class caught the principal's eye, so now they're letting us sell... They'll be selling these tickets at the reception. I've got some spare ones, so I wanted to give them to you. Nice. I guess I'll be going all out to attract as many people as they can. Plenty of classes are barely put in the effort, like ours, so all the work your classes... did could serve as good PR for the school. That's a fair point. I'm really happy for you, to be honest. All that work's paid off. Well, I don't know. We won't know that until the cultural festival starts. This is all thanks to you. I didn't expect to get so hooked once you started teaching me. Hey, Naureen. You gonna do any cosplay? Mao poses a new question to cut off the current conversation. Naomi's face burns bright red in response. Cosplay? You mean like what Miharu does? I'll have you know that that is an official work uniform. Sorry. Someone did suggest that, but I'm sure it wouldn't suit me. Have you ever heard of tropes? Literary tropes? I guess. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you on that day. Mao shouts a wry look at Naomi. All right, you're free the Saturday after the cultural festival. We're planning to head out somewhere again and figured you might want to join. I'm free, yes. Are you sure you want me coming along, though? I won't object, neither will Rinka, I assume. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing, but it'll be nice to get out again. What happened to my karaoke idea? I look forward to it, but promise me that you'll come along during the culture festival. Naomi, no worries, we'll be there. Good luck with preparations. Thank you. I do my best to swallow the words as I was about to say as she walks off. Miharu fires a glance at me as I do. I can only imagine the feelings behind her current expression. You two eat up before lunchtime is over. Divine selection is in my thoughts more often than I'd like these days, but Mao's comment ejects it from my mind for a little bit. Another day spent eating lunch together with friends under a blue sky. Another day spent casually treading the thin line between life I want and the reality I must face. Well, shit is about to go down. That's about all the time we have for this episode, so make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me if you haven't already. And comment in the comment section, let me know your thoughts on Fatal 12, and hit that subscribe button for future content, and I'll see you all next time.